What's going on? What's going down? It's the Notorious CED, also known as the BIG CED, you dig? And today's title of the video is Stop Tricking. We're going to talk about tricking and why you need to stop tricking and why you need to kick the dough down with some game and stop tricking like a lame. You dig? So, for starters, man, first of all, the thing about it is, you don't have to spend money to get the woman that you like. You don't have to spend money to get the girl of your so-called dreams. You see what I'm saying? Stop putting a woman on a pedestal. Put your game goggles on, man, and realize that without the makeup, without the BBL, without the lip fillers, without whatever the heck else she got on, man, she's regular. Really, really regular. And at the end of the day, it's a whole lot of you and not a whole lot of me. You dig what I'm saying? And that goes for the ladies, man. So, fellas, stop listening to people on Instagram. Stop listening to people on Snapchat. Stop listening to these Buster L7 Square celebrities who got all the money in the world to trick off just to find out that the chick really don't rock with them. Stop. Don't take your advice from them at all, because for one, they can't relate to you. They don't know what it's like to be in your shoes. You know what I'm saying? They probably signed some type of deal, and they're probably in some type of 360 deal that comes with fame and 10% or whatever they're going to make. And they pretty much done sign their souls away anyway. So let's just keep it a buck, bro. Freedom is everything. Ownership is everything. You know what I'm saying? Having something that you can leave on a legacy behind, that's everything. You know what I'm saying? Family is everything. Tricking is everything that Mup is doing, but absolutely not something that is needed to be successful or to have a successful life. Because the problem is, what you'll soon realize is women don't have standards for the dudes that they like. There are no standards. Baby daddy, you know what I'm saying? No job, you know what I'm saying? McDonald's, no car, couch to couch, house to house. It really don't matter. If she rock with you, she's going to rock with you. And you got to like who likes you. You can't just like, you know what I'm saying, the one that you like and the one that you're going to do a whole lot of stuff for that ain't going to do a whole lot of stuff for you. You see what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in the third grade manipulation tactics, bro. Don't allow the women in your life to convince you to be a buster or to be a sucker or to be a simp. And let's go ahead and break down what a simp is, bro. Complimenting a woman because you think she's attractive, that's not being a simp. Being a simp is doing and saying anything to get yourself into some behind, right? Because the thing about it is, you're going after the behind, but if you went after the mind, you could have everything in between and beyond. You know what I'm saying? So change your mindset. Have that woman's mind. Don't get her name tattooed. Don't have her get her name tattooed on you. Tattoo some game in her brain. You see what I'm saying? That can really leave a stain and leave her with something. And when she, whatever happens, if you walk away, she walks away, whatever, she can always remember you as somebody who leveled her up and gave her some information that was informative and, you know what I'm saying, important to her success. You see what I'm saying? Something that she can take on to her future endeavors and feel like she ran across somebody that was real and genuine. And once again, tell her the truth. What is you lying for as a grown man at your big old age? What is you lying to this woman for? Does she really hold that much power over your life to where you feel the need to lie to her? No, bro. That's not cool at all, and it's not manly. So don't do that either. Don't lie. Let's not lie. Right? But also, let's not trick at the same time. Because if you have to trick to get her, chances are you're going to lose her to somebody that's tricking harder. And they say it ain't tricking if you got it. But if you don't got it and you're tricking, it's tricking. And if you do got it and you're tricking, and if you wasn't tricking, you wouldn't have her, that's still tricking. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with doing things for your woman that you care about and who cares about you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But stop coming into relationships, stop coming into dates, doing everything for the woman, and you don't even give her the opportunity to see if she really likes you. Make her have to come with something. Make her have to show some type of level of interest or a level of investment. Because if she has to invest something, chances are she's not going to divest from that relationship as quickly. But if she's able to get everything she needs, everything that she wants, why in the world would she sit up there and stick around in a situation when as soon as she get ready to leave, she can just go ahead and leave? There's no point. When she's done, she done ran it up. She done had a hell of a time. She done enjoyed herself. She done got everything out of you that she wanted. And you left with nothing, looking crazy, looking stupid, and looking goofy. Because at the end of the day, as men, we love harder anyway, right? So men, we're logical thinkers, but we get lost in the emotion of a woman sometimes, because sometimes our emotions come into play. Sometimes we fall deeply in love with a woman, not realizing that this woman has fell deeply in love with our pockets, not realizing that she's fell deeply in love with what we're doing for her. But if you come out the gate doing for her, she's going to have no choice but to fall in love with that. Even if you're a real fly guy, even if you're a genuine dude, you know what I'm saying? Even if you somebody who's, you know what I'm saying, got some swag, got some game, got some hustle about himself. If you always doing for her, that's what she's going to remember. That's what she's going to fall in love with. And the second that you fall off, the second that things stop going your way, she's going to be out the way. You see what I'm saying? So you have to remember that when dealing with a woman, pretty is a lot of times as pretty does. You know, a woman treating you well and honoring you and respecting you and caring about you and showing you that every day, that's one of the most valuable things that you can have in your life. That's how you build. But you have to get with a woman that really likes you, that really sees you like Chris Brown, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, that sees you like you. You know what I'm saying? And accepts that and loves that. And that's the game, bro. You got to be you. You know what I'm saying? But you got to sharpen your tool set. You got to get better. You got to go to the gym. You got to read. You know what I'm saying? You have to get deeper into your spiritual beliefs and what you stand for. You have to build your principles as a man. You have to build what you believe in your character, because your talent's going to get you a lot of places, but your character is going to keep you there. So you have to remember that these foundations of manhood are way more important than any money that you could ever accumulate, because there's been plenty of guys who've had the money, but they lost a woman because of their manhood. And not every time that you lose a woman is because you weren't man enough. That's not what that means. But at the same time, if you walk away from a situation, know that you walked away because you stood on something. And if she wasn't going to bend or go with how you want to go or break to your will, know that you stood up for yourself. Don't allow a person to just come in a relationship and just you end up being one of those, oh, let me check with my wife type of dudes. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the woman run the relationship, because at the end of the day, she wants a man to run the relationship for her. She wants to feel like she's being led. You know what I'm saying? She wants to feel like, you know what I'm saying, you're the golden chariot and she's on a one-way ticket, you know what I'm saying, to Disney World. You know what I'm saying? Or to Neverland or something like that. You dig? So she don't want you looking to her for direction. She wants you dominating and conquering and leading and influencing her to make better decisions by you making the right decisions. So you always got to remember that when dealing with women. And then you have to also remember, they don't think how we think. They think emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times is, what have you done for me lately? A lot of times it's a lot of, affirmation and reassurance and confidence building that has to be done. You know what I'm saying? You have to build your woman up, or else every time you step out and you want to go have a good time, she's going to be insecure about it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times women, they haven't been through, or they have been through a lot to where when they get with a dude who's solid, who got something going on for him, you know what I'm saying? Who's a dude who, got some swagger, got some class about himself, they're going to feel jealous because they've been with a bunch of dudes that really wasn't who they said they was. And now that they found somebody who is who they say they are, you know what I mean? It's hard for them to deal with that because they're going to put you in the box like everybody else. They don't know for sure. It takes time. You see what I'm saying? A woman doesn't just look at a man and just know, okay, yeah, he's the real deal. She's seen about 3 or 4 of what she thought was the real deal. You know what I'm saying? And their relationship turned into a battleship quicker than she could say battleship. So the problem is, man, you have to get your woman ready for the way that you want her to conduct herself. You have to train her. You have to teach her. You have to build her up in ways that she never thought she could be built up in. You have to make her feel secure in who she is. And when you're in your rightful place, she'll be in her rightful place as a woman. But you can't ever expect your woman to just be ready-made. You can't ever walk into it and think that she's just going to get on with the program because it's you. Because what separates you from the last guy? She doesn't know till she sees. Eventually, she's going to have that epiphany like, okay, real deal. You know what I'm saying? Real deal. But it takes time to get to that point. Because you gotta understand, you meet a woman when you're 30, she done had a good 20 years or a good, 16 years of dealing with busters or dealing with dudes who really just, is just trying to get to the box or really is just doing what they do but lying and not being real. You know what I'm saying? And it's one thing to have the information, but it's another thing to stand on principle. And a lot of men aren't doing both. A lot of men are either dumb and a deer in the headlights when it comes to women and how women operate, or they just don't know how to stand on principle because when a woman gets around them, they just fold. They just go for whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that takes a certain level of discipline, and it takes a certain level of know-how, and it takes a certain level of experience to really get it right. Everybody's got F's on their report cards. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody ever just, just been living life, doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? All day, every day, never missing a play, never missing a payday, never not having a way. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, you're going to mess up. It's going to be situations that you may not navigate right the first time, but you have to be operating out of your masculine frame. And you have to be really looking at, doing the things that's going to maintain your relationship and maintain yourself. And when you're on your purpose and working towards your goals, all that's going to fall in line. But you have to know how to deal with a woman. You have to know how to operate, you know what I'm saying, in this world when it comes to dealing with females. You cannot be out here deer in the headlights just thinking that everybody is just, the most holy people in the world. It's not reality, and it's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? When you get out here and you start moving around, you're going to see that a lot of what you probably were taught by your mom or your sisters is a lie. And even after you really been blessed with some game, you're going to realize that they still have a hard time admitting what reality is. They have to be made to feel comfortable to share that side of them with you, whether it's somebody who you're endeavoring to be with or not, or it's just a relative, because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to be judged. They want to be accepted. They want to be loved, and they want to feel like they're doing the right thing. And yeah, women gonna stay on code, and it's a sister code that they're gonna stand by, but you have to be able to see through that. You have to be able to maneuver through that. And so you really have to learn some psychology. You really have to get out and experience, and you really got to talk to your elders and see where they messed up and see where you could do better. because a lot of times the information isn't being passed down. It's not a each one teach one system no more. For whatever reason, it's like every man for himself. But part of the problem is because you got the OGs and the 40-year-olds, you know what I'm saying, trying to hunch on the little 20-year-old dudes, chicks. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of times the 20-year-old chicks is going for it because let's say the 40-year-old been working in his job. He got a little bit more money, a little bit more motion coming in. So they going because they want to go to the mall. They want to shop. And the younger dude can't really do that for them right now because he working on himself and he trying to build up, you know what I'm saying, for the future. So it's all about selecting the right person for you and where you at. You know what I'm saying? And you also have to understand, you got to find somebody with a growth mindset. And that just doesn't go for women, that goes for people in general. Because at some point, you're going to pass them people up. Where you were at and where you met them is not where you're going to be in the future. You see what I'm saying? And so when it comes time that you're steady progressing, you're steadily leveling up, you're steady getting better, man, you got to know when to cut somebody off if they're not going in that direction. Because they're only going to be a hindrance to your success. That's going to be the person that's hating on you. That's going to be the person that's hoping that you miss opportunities and praying on your downfall. Not because they genuinely hate you, but because jealousy is a cheap perfume. You know what I'm saying? Jealousy is something that will have somebody turn their back on you who you did things for when you was younger. You know what I'm saying? Who you felt like you got it out the mud with. You know what I'm saying? Jealousy will show you some real evil, man, in real time. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand, you have to be very, very cognizant and very aware of the people that you got close to you. And you have to make sure that they're going in the same direction that you're going. Because even if that is your homeboy, even if that's really your friend, if he's not going in the same direction as you, the only thing that he can do is pull you to where he at. It takes a really strong individual, a really once in a generational individual to bring people with them. That's very hard to do, especially in 2026. Especially, you know what I'm saying, in the generation that we coming up in now. Because all you see on Instagram, all you see on the news is negativity. You're not seeing positivity. You're not seeing people doing great things and that's being highlighted. You're seeing protests. You're seeing riots. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing a lot of division. You're not seeing unification. You're not seeing gratification. You're not seeing people being successful. I mean, you may see it on Instagram, but for the most part, when you see it, it just makes you feel like, dang, I really should be doing more. I'm really not doing enough. So it doesn't allow you to be grateful for where you at and where you going. And you got to get some routines implemented into your everyday. That way that can compound over time and that can lead to you getting to your goals quicker. Because what they not showing you on Instagram is all the little cheat codes that they doing. They only showing you the stuff that looks pretty. They not showing you the real. They not showing you the losses. They not showing you the days where they don't want to get up and do it. They not showing you the days, you know what I'm saying, where they didn't accomplish their goals. They just showing you the stuff that looks good and the stuff that looks pretty. You know what I mean? And it makes you feel like you're not doing enough. It makes you feel like you're not good enough. So you have to be aware of what you feed in your mind and feed in your body and feed in your spirit and what you're watching, who you're listening to, what you're watching. Especially when it comes to social media. Because a lot of them people is fake anyway. A lot of them people ain't real people. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a real come-up story. They don't have a real testimony or a real, got it out of the mud situation. So you have to be careful, man, because you want to be able to relate to people that's closer to your situation. Not everybody can be LeBron. Not everybody can be Obama. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can be these larger than life figures who are regular people but got blessed with an extraordinary opportunity. That's not everybody. That's reality. So you have to continue to elevate yourself. You have to continue to put positive thoughts into yourself. And you have to continue to grind and to go after it, man. Because it's 2026. It's January 2026 right now. And we've seen how quickly it goes from January to July. Like that. You don't even realize it. Summer's here. You know what I'm saying? And all them goals that you set at the beginning of the year, they disappear. So you have to stay consistent. Make every day, set every day small goals. You know, set small goals every day that can be accomplished and that are contributing to the bigger goals. You know, if it's losing 20 pounds, eating under your calorie deficit every day, but also going to the gym and building your muscle. That way, if it doesn't show up on the scale the first 2 weeks, at least you know that you've been grinding and you exchanging that fat for muscle. Whether it be, I want to read a book, I want to read at least one book this month. You know what I'm saying? Get it halfway through the book in the first, you know what I'm saying? Reading 30, 40 pages in the first week or whatever. If you want to read 2 books in a month, reading half of a book in a week and the other half of the book the next week. And then you move on to the next book. And then sometimes I like to take time in between when I'm reading. That way I can give myself a couple of days to just take in everything that I read and give myself a fresh start when it's time to pick up something new. You know what I'm saying? And stay working, man. Stay working. Stay having some income flowing in. Stay having a way to prove your income. Stay having some taxes to file. You know what I'm saying? Because that money that you're getting can be invested into something else. That money you getting can be invested into the stock market and you can watch that compound. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take a little bit of time for it to compound, but at the same time, you planning for the future. We're not investing for today or tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We're investing for the future. So we're not looking to get a rapid return. We're looking to invest in good companies that are going in the direction that we're going, which is up, which is profitable, which is positive. That's where we going. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're investing in. We're investing in companies like that are going in that same direction and have core principles that we believe we can stand behind. Good leadership, good returns, you know what I'm saying? Good profit to loss ratios. They have a CEO that's not so visible, that's not in the political scene, you know, making comments about stuff that could drastically affect the market. It's a lot of things that we're working towards in this 2026, and ain't nobody gonna be able to stop it. You see what I'm saying? This is our year. Real talk, this is our year, and we're gonna get where we're going. But we gotta stay consistent, we gotta stay persistent, we gotta stay resilient. Because there's going to be some ups and downs. Every year at the beginning of the year is something tragic that happens that throws off everybody's momentum, that throws off everybody's vibration, and that distracts us from where we're going and the goals that we set. Every year it never fails. It's always something January, February that's a big deal. That's a big distraction. Right now it's the Minnesota, the Minneapolis situation with the protests and the ice and all that. That's a big distraction from people doing what they need to do, because every time they get on Instagram, they see something negative. They see something negative, or they feel the need to go do something about it. What you need to go do is go down to Capitol Hill and go to the White House. That's what you need to do if you're going to do something. But what you really need to do is keep doing what you've been doing, which is working, reading, and inspiring yourself and desiring to keep doing better. This ain't the time to slow up now. What is we slowing up now for? A lot of that stuff doesn't even affect us. A lot of that stuff isn't where we at. And if it is where we at, what you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? If you're gonna do something and you got a plan, go ahead. But if all you're gonna do is see it and be sad, man, you might as well keep grinding. You might as well be at the gym being sad about it. You might as well be reading being sad about it. You see what I'm saying? Or not being sad about it at all. You might as well be at work. You know what I mean? Because it's stuff that needs to get done. And guess what? You sitting up here and being distracted by some foolishness ain't going to help you get to where you need to go or do what you need to do. And that's just flat out. So I know that this message is going to touch a lot of souls and it's going to help a lot of people get going in the direction that they need to be going. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And we gonna keep it coming, bro. We gonna keep kicking down the door with some game, keep kicking down the door with some motivation, keep kicking down the door with some inspiration, and we gonna keep going to where we going, bro. Because all we going is up. And that's just what it is. You dig?